Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Burger King. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to not only check out the description below, in which I will be housing all of my tutorial playlists, but also feel free to check out the card system, in which I'll be leaving more specific videos that I think that you guys will really enjoy. Moving on, if you want to make Burger King, here's what you're going to need. You'll need some block of iron, and some block of quartz. Then grab yourself some quartz stairs, and grab red wool, dark blue wool, yellow, grab black wool, some blue carpet, and finally guys, grab yourself some black stained glass paint. And once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off Burger King with a row of 8 block of quartz coming directly up from the ground. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like so. And once you have your row of 8 block of quartz, you then want to add an additional row of block of quartz going right, like so. Then add a row of 8 black wool, still going right. And that, guys, is actually where our entrance is going to be. Well, it's going to kind of be going right of this row of 8 black wool here. Shall I show you how it's made? I think I probably should, shouldn't I? So, here's how it's going to look. With your black wool, take the third block coming up from the ground, this black wool right here, go right of it by 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect those last 2 blocks directly down to the ground, and then separate this empty space here with a vertical row of black wool blocks, which will leave a 2x2 space here and a 2x2 space here. What you then want to do is you want to extend this middle row up here until it's equal height with the rows that we have on the left, and you want to do the same thing with these 2 rows on the end, so just raise those up until they are equal height with the other rows on the end. You then just want to add another horizontal row of black wool up near the top, which just leaves a tiny little window up at the top here, and that is actually what you want to have for the entrance, guys. That is exactly how it looks, and this is where you'd walk in, these 2 bottom spaces here, and these upper spaces are just windows, so if you want to fill those in with your black stained glass paint, then you guys feel free. I'm going to do that right now because why not? Why not take care of it in here whilst we're actually working on it? So that's the entrance. Let's move on. So what you then want to do, guys, is you also want to take these 2 rows of quartz that we have right here, and you want to extend them coming out each by 1 row, like coming out in front of the entrance. So you just want to add an additional layer of quartz in front of those 2 rows of quartz. You then want to take out your black wool again, and coming to the top right hand corner of the entrance, so this black wool block right here, we want to go right of this, guys, by... I just have to do some math because I wasn't supposed to build it this way. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want to do a row of 32 going right from this block. So that's 3, 2, 32. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Then connect that 30-second block down to the ground, like so. And what you want to do next to this row of 8 black wool, guys, we've got a row of 8 black wool again, guys, you want to do 2 rows of 8 quartz going right of that row of black wool. And then what you want to do is just do 2 rows of quartz in front of those 2 rows of quartz, like so. So we want to have a big giant window. And what you can then do is take out your black wool, and you then just want to coming down to the bottom right hand side of what we've just made, so this black wool block that connects down to the ground, we want to go left of this black wool block by 5 with our black stained glass paint, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do 2 black wool, and then we want to go on top of each one of these 2 black wools until we hit the top of that row of black, and then we can just proceed to fill this right hand side in with black stained glass paint. Again, it's something that we could wait until later to do because we're going to have quite a bit of this, but you know, why not do it now whilst we're actually doing it, and it varies it up a little bit so we don't have to fill so much glass in later. But that is what you want to have so far, guys, and that bit big middle window here, that's actually to be filled in with, you know what, why don't we just do it? This big empty middle part, this rectangular shape, it's supposed to be filled in with black stained glass pane. So why don't we just do it? Why don't we just save ourselves some time later, and we can just add all of the glass into each one of the individual walls as we build them? Because honestly, guys, I don't know how you feel about this, but it drives me up the wall. Drives me up the wall, no pun intended, filling all of the glass in at once. It's my least favourite thing to do, the black stained glass pane, or any glass pane, it really is, because it's just that little extra difficult, that little bit extra irritating to place. As you guys know, you guys have dealt with this stuff before. You guys are seasoned like I am, you know the deal with this thing. But we've just about completely finished filling in this rectangular shape, and once we've done this, we can actually move on to the next bit. So what you want to have, guys, should look a little bit like that, and that is absolutely perfect. That is exactly what you want to have. So once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. I suppose it's time for us to do some of the other walls. So this is the entrance. We're now coming over to the left-hand side of our Burger King. Take out your black wall again, and starting from this same quartz block that our entrance is connected to, this same quartz block, it's going that way where the back of Burger King is going to be, you want to do a row of 19 black going back, so that's 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You then want to do a row of 10 block of quartz, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can then connect that 10th block all the way down to the ground, like this, and you can also drag it along the ground until it is actually equal length with the first block of quartz that you placed here, and you can just kind of like section it off. You can turn it into a rectangular shape like this, and then continuing to go along the floor, guys, from this quartz block, you want to do this. So going right, 1 black wall, then 5 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 black, 5 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 black, 5 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 black wall. And then you can just connect each one of those black walls all the way up to the top of that top row of black that we have. And what we can also do, and we do have to do a couple of things here, you can fill this quartz rectangular shape, or is it a square? It's a rectangular shape. Fill this quartz rectangular shape in with block of iron, because this is just like a back wall. This is actually where the toilets are going to be inside, so we don't want to be peeking in. And you can then just fill each one of these windows in. I'm sure that you guys already guessed this. Fill each one of these windows in with black stained glass pane. And once you've done this, we can actually add one of the other pillars onto our Burger King. As you guys may have noticed, we have like a pillar on each one of the 4 corners of our Burger King. We've already done 2 of them. We'll add on that pillar, then we'll go over to the opposite side, we'll fill that wall in, we'll add the other pillar, we'll connect everything together, and then we'll move on to the roof, because, well, the roof is, you know what, the roof is actually probably not the hardest part, but definitely going to be the most time consuming. It really is. The roof is a little bit of a but this is what you want to have, guys. This is what you want to have for this wall. I know it looks a little bit more boring, but it makes sense, because obviously we've just got windows, and then we've got the whole bathroom sectioned off where, you know, there's no windows to the bathroom. We don't want anyone peeking in. Once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. So coming all the way over to the left-hand side here, where we have this row of 8 block of quartz, do 2 additional rows of 8 block of quartz, like this, coming out of the back of that row, and then do 2 rows of quartz in the front of those 2 rows, so like this, and you just want to have something which should look exactly like that. And of course, we're just emulating what we have on the front of our Burger King. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, we can then move on to the next bit, and let me just adjust my plan so I can see what we have to do. So once you've got that taken care of, you now want to come all the way over to the opposite side of your Burger King. So this time, starting from this top block of quartz that we have right here, this one that the black wall is connected to, going towards the back of Burger King again, do a row of 19 black walls. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. What you can then do, guys, is do a row of 10 block of quartz. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then connect that 10th block all the way down to the ground, like so. Whoops, not like so, that is wrong. Like so, there we go, that's what you want to have. Then, what you want to do after that is you want to take this bottom block of quartz, and going back towards where we just were, you want to do a row of... you want to do a row of 9, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then connect all the way back up to the top of where you were just building. What you then want to do is add 2 rows of block of quartz coming directly up from the 2 center blocks of quartz here. So you just want to do 2 vertical rows of block of quartz that connects the bottom to the top, like that. You then want to take out your block of iron and do a row of 3 block of iron at the bottom of those 2 spaces and at the top of those 2 spaces. You can then take out your quartz stairs and do upside down quartz stairs in front of the bottom rows and do regular facing quartz stairs in front of the top rows, like that. And those are just 2 drive-through windows, and we don't have to do any more. Once you've done that, you now want to take out your black wool, and starting from this 9th quartz block that we placed coming back this way, going left of this, you want to do 1 black wool, then 5 black stained glass pane, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 black, 5 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 black, 5 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 black. Connect each one of those black walls all the way back up to the top of where we were just building, and what you want to end up with should, so far, minus the glass, look a little bit like this. And of course, once we've reached this point right here, we then just want to completely fill in each one of these 3 windows with our glass. So we're just going to do that. And once we've filled these in, we will then... Oh, we haven't done the pillar yet, have we? We haven't done the pillar at the back of this side of Burger King, but we'll make that, and then we'll connect the entire back together, and then we will do the roof. And as I think I may have already mentioned this, I know I've already mentioned this, the roof is going to be the worst part. It really is. The roof is going to be little to zero fun. It's not. It's no fun. No es funness is what that it means. No fun in Spanish, probably. I don't know Spanish, but that is what you want to have so far for this side of your Burger King, guys. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So just as we did on the opposite side, we now want to take this very end row of 8 block of quartz, and we want to add 2 additional layers of quartz going right. So that's 1 and 2. Then do 2 rows of a block of quartz in front of those 2 rows. So that's 1 and 2. Like that. So you just want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. Once you've got this side of Burger King taken care of, we can now move on to the back. So the back is actually very simple. So simple, in fact, that I don't think that I've included it in my plans, but I actually know how it goes anyway. So basically, all we have to do is we just want to connect. And you guys know that we leave these 2 pillars alone, we leave this first layer of quartz alone. So working from this quartz block, we want to essentially turn the back into a big giant rectangular shape with our block of quartz. So you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about. It's kind of difficult to describe really and put into words, but we kind of want to do a rectangular shape of quartz right at the back like this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to simply fill in the shape with our iron block. So we just want to connect it together like this, just like every other wall, and then we can just completely fill the back of this in with block of iron. If you wanted to, you could actually add windows behind the left hand side of the back, because that's just like a cooking area, or at least it's designed to be, and there's a staff room there as well. But the reason that I always leave the backs of these blank, the reason that, there's nothing back here, there's no windows, no anything like that, is because there's usually stuff like toilets and, like I said, staff rooms and cooking areas and stuff, and it wouldn't really make any sense for there to be any windows there, and there never really is anyway on the actual buildings, or at least all of the drive-thrus that I've ever went to. There's really like there's no windows showing you what's going on. It's just completely blank. Like all that would be back here in reality would be like bins or something. So and the drive-thru, like bins in the drive-thru, so there wouldn't even be bins here, because otherwise, you know, how are you going to drive around? But this is what you want to have. You can see that we've just about finished the back here, so we just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this, which is perfect, guys. That is what you want to have, and that is pretty much what you want to have for each one of the 4 walls. It looks a little boring, doesn't it? It does look boring, don't worry, it's going to get a lot more interesting in a second. So, once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next, guys. So, we now want to do this on top of each one of the 4 corners of our Burger King. So, where we have this front left hand corner quartz block, we want to place 1 quartz on top of it. You guys can see that I've done that. We then want to, from this single quartz that we've placed on top, we want to place 1 quartz coming towards us, and then going left of that quartz that's placed towards us, go left by 3. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So you kind of want like a sideways L shape placed on top of the front left hand corner of your Burger King. You want the inverse on the right hand side. So we want to place 1 block coming up from the pillar, 1 towards us, then 3 going right. 1, 2, 3. We then want to go to the back, and coming to the back right hand corner, this is the back right hand corner, we place 1 block here, 1 coming towards us, then 3 coming out, 1, 2, 3. And then coming to the back left hand corner now, on top of this corner block, up by 1, towards us 1, right by 3, 1, 2, 3. And what we just want to end up with, guys, should look a little bit like this. Now, what you then want to do is you want to connect each one of those blocks together, and to do that you just kind of want to connect each one of the most outer blocks together. I guess it's kind of self-explanatory. You essentially just want to form a nice big giant rectangular shape, and there's you know what, there's nothing really more to it. That's it, you just want to make a big giant rectangular shape as I'm doing now, and there's nothing much more to that. You just want to connect them all together, and what we're then going to do, we're going to fill the under part in, where you'd actually be able to like see through into the roof, or alternatively you can fill it in with glowstone a little bit. Oh, we've got this right hand side to do as well, haven't we? Whoops, yeah, there we go. So if you want to, and I'll point this out as we actually do it, if you want to, you can actually light up the underhanging parts of your Burger King. If you want to, like, you could add a strip of glowstone that's just like here. It'd go like right here. You might want to add a strip of glowstone like on the left and right hand side that goes right here, and that'll just light things up a little bit more, because underneath these parts, whoops, there we go, because underneath these parts, of course, it's going to be a little bit dark. So you might want to do that, or you might not, and you might also want to do a very similar thing on the front and the back, where we have to fill in like this section here. You might just want to fill this in with glowstone, and it won't even be visible, like, unless you actually literally like walk underneath it. But from afar and like looking, you know, towards Burger King, you won't be able to tell that anything's there. It'll just look a little bit brighter. So you might want to do that. You might just want to use your quartz. It's completely up to you. I would suggest the quartz, simply just because, you know, you'd want it to look a little bit lighter. It'd make a little bit more sense. But now what we're doing is we're just filling in the holes that we've left by adding in these little extra bits on top of the building. So we're just filling in these holes. It doesn't really matter how you do it. I would definitely use quartz though, quartz or glowstone, one of the two. It doesn't really matter what order, it doesn't matter how you accomplish it, it just matters that everything's filled in. And this is just going to be the base of the roof. Everything's going to build up from here onwards. So after this, actually, oh, we've just got one more strip. But after this, what we're then going to do, and I'm going to describe this now and move straight onto it, we're going to add a layer of upside down quartz stairs going all the way around the edge. So just to show you guys the top of Burger King so far, it should just look a little bit like this, and none of this will be visible. I know that this looks kind of bad, but this won't be visible at all. So what you then want to do once you reach this point right here is you just want to do a layer of upside down quartz stairs going all the way around the edge of the roof of your Burger King. So just going all the way around the edge, you just want to do a layer of upside down quartz stairs. there's nothing really to say about this, other than just keep repeating myself like a lunatic, as I usually do, but all you want to do, just keep doing a layer of upside down quartz stairs all the way around the edge of your Burger King. Do you guys want to know what we're going to be doing next? It's actually quite simple. After we've done this layer of quartz, and you know what, I might tell you guys after we've just connected this together, we've just got one more layer to do. After this, and I can move straight on to it, after you've done your upside down layer of quartz stairs, we're then going to add a layer of yellow wool on top of this. So once you have your upside down quartz stairs, do a layer of yellow wool directly on top of the upside down stairs. So go all the way around the edge and do a layer of yellow wool on top of the upside down stairs. What are we going to be doing after this? We're going to be adding a diagonal layer of yellow in relation to our yellow. So we're going to have 2 layers of yellow in total. Then we're going to add a layer of dark blue wool. We will then be adding 7 more layers of it. So we're going to have in total 8 layers of dark blue, 2 layers of yellow, and we've just got the 1 layer of quartz really. So it's a little bit tedious. Oh, did I also wait, this slipped my mind. We also have 2 layers of red to do. Right at the very top, there's like a big giant rectangular shape at the top of Burger King, but it really does make quite the difference, and you can see that the glowstone does as well. But there we go. After you've done your first layer of yellow, you then want to add an additional layer of yellow up diagonally, like coming towards you from the first layer. So 1 row higher, 1 row outward in relation to the first row of yellow, you want to do another layer of yellow. And then you want to do the same thing with the dark blue. And I feel as though that if I talk about this anymore, I am going to go absolutely insane. I really am. So guys, why don't we talk about something else? Do you know something that do you guys know what the British people, me, everybody else in this country, do you know what we like to talk about the most? Do you guys know? If you've watched a few of these videos, it's the weather. There is nothing that we like talking more about than the weather. More specifically than talking about it, we like complaining about it. And that's exactly what I'm about to do after I've finished this layer of yellow, because it has been very much upsetting me recently. So after you've done your second layer of yellow, you then want to do the exact same thing with dark blue. 1 block higher, 1 block outwards in relation to the yellow, layer of dark blue going all the way around. So, I don't know what you guys have been dealing with over there in the States. Over half of my audience base, you guys live over there. Well, over here, rain, non-stop rain, cold, non-stop cold, hail, little bit of snow, tiny little bit of snow. It didn't actually fall on the ground, like it didn't settle, but we've had snow. It is so bitter cold out there. I enjoy bike riding. I very much enjoy riding my bike. It's something that I enjoy doing. I like getting out there. I like getting out on the road. I like going really fast. I like just, losing myself. I don't have to think whilst I'm doing it. It's impossible, guys. I can't do it anymore. The rain, the cold, the bitterness, it's an absolute nightmare. It's upsetting me. I want to move to Hawaii. I've decided. So once you've got that first layer of dark blue taken care of, guys, so you don't just want to stop there. What we now want to do is add 7 more layers of it. So each one of these layers is going to be 1 block inwards and 1 block higher than the last. So it'll look a little something like this. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and of course you've got to imagine that each one of those layers is of course like one lesser than the other, but we just have it marked out and it will just make it a little bit easier for placing. But 7 more layers on top of this first layer, guys, and it's going to take us quite a while, as you might imagine. So where was I? I was whining about the weather. Luckily I got interrupted. We probably don't want to talk about that whatsoever, do we? So oh god, what is there to say? I don't know. There's been a lot of Star Wars hype recently, guys, and I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, it's coming out sometime next month, I believe. Isn't it December? Like, it's late December, but for some reason, all over the internet, Reddit especially, I've been noticing, there has been so much Star Wars hype that it's just completely unbelievable. And I don't know about you guys. I'm not hating on Star Wars because I've explained many times, and I've got loads of pixel arts and statues and stuff to back this. I love Star Wars. I love the story. I love the idea. Don't like the movies. Every single one of them, I think, have been terrible. They're much better in games, much better in the Clone Wars, Star Wars The Clone Wars was an amazing series, and that more properly portrays how I imagine the Star Wars universe to be. It's a lot more fast-paced, there's a lot more force power, there's a lot more combat, it's smoother, it's faster, and it's hard to display on screen. But it might not be so difficult in this brand new one. But from the trailer, and I imagine that that's what's got people riled up, they keep releasing trailers, it just doesn't seem that exciting. They might be saving all of the exciting stuff for the actual film itself. They might just be showing little teasers. You know how in film trailers, and this drives me mental, guys, like, if you're going to watch a comedy or if you're going to watch an action film, in the comedy, for example, they'll show all of the funniest bits in the trailer. In an action film, they'll show all of the action in the trailer. I'm hoping that they just haven't done this with Star Wars. I'm hoping that it's just, they've shown all of the boring stuff. Like, all of the boring stuff in the trailer, they've not alluded to anything whatsoever, and I'm hoping that the film is just going to set an absolute fantastic benchmark that Star Wars has never seen in the film world, because I don't know if we can be honest with each other, guys. The films are a little weak, aren't they? Aren't they a little weak? They kind of are. They don't hold up to the test of time. I don't know whether it's because they didn't have the budget, which I find hard to believe, or whether it's because they just didn't have the technology to make everything how it should have been, but it wasn't that good. The films weren't that good, but I have high hopes for this one. And that weird little tangent, I've just remembered where it came from. I was going to ask myself how we got there. There's just been a lot of Star Wars hype recently, and whilst I can understand it from all of the old age Star Wars nerds and the kids and what have you with the whole Clone Wars and getting like reintroduced through that in the first 3 films, like I don't know, it's the amount of hype surrounding it is crazy. I can't imagine the passion that some people have for it, especially considering how old it is, and how long it's been since there's been another film. Like I can't remember when number 3 came out, and I don't ask me what number 3 was called. Revenge of the Sith? No. Was it? I can't remember. I really can't. Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith. I think it was Revenge of the Sith, maybe. I don't even know, but eagerly anticipating it. I can't wait to see some of the weird lightsabers that are being introduced. We've already seen the one with the crossguard, which is fantastic, which people never. I don't know why people didn't like that. It didn't make any sense. It made perfect sense, that crossguard lightsaber, and I actually saw a pretty cool toy. I was watching somebody's video. I think it was like Buggy9988 or something. That rather large gentleman who likes to play the video games and he likes to talk about topics and stuff. I saw like an unboxing of where he bought like one of those like stick together lightsabers, and that actually looked kind of fun. It'd be kind of funny if not kind of funny. It'd be kind of cool if that alluded to the film in which like it's not just Jedi that have lightsabers. It's not just Sith. It's like people are actually figuring out how to make them, and they're kind of like making them out of spare parts and like whatever they can jumble together. Like if they've got a microwave and if they've got like the hilt off of a sword that's like from the 1600s and they're managing to put one together, and it'd be kind of cool if things weren't so balanced. Although I'm pretty sure that the reason that lightsabers work in the first place is because you have some sort of force energy to begin with. I don't think that someone like you or I could, pick one up and like start flinging it around. I'm pretty sure we'd chop our limbs off, because you have to have some sort of astuteness with the force, and that's how they kind of like avoid chopping their arms off. It's kind of like a seventh sense or a sixth sense, whichever. I don't know. They have so many of them. Like, it's hard to keep track. They have like a sixth sense with it. Like that's why they're able to execute all of the flips and the pushes and stuff. And they have like a natural resistance to things. It's I don't know. I did start this off by mentioning that I really wasn't too into it. Like, I'm not sure I understand the hype, but I'm kind of hyping myself up now. I'm now thinking about it, and now I really, really want to see the film. I really wish it was here. But through that weird little tangent, guys, we have managed to do all 7 layers, 8 if you include the first one, all 8 layers of the Dark Blue Wall. What do we have to do next? Well, what we now have to do, in the same position as where the next layer of Dark Blue would go, as if we were doing that, we now want to add a layer of Red Wall that sits on top of the Dark Blue Wall. So we want to add a layer of Red Wall that sits on top of the Dark Blue Wall. And what we're then going to do after that, guys, is we're then going to add an additional layer of red directly on top of it. And this will give us like a rectangular shape effect. It will give it a bit more depth, and that's exactly what we're after, because for whatever reason on a load of Burger King buildings that I saw whilst I was Googling them. This is based off an actual building, just in case you guys are curious. This is like, I don't know, this is as close as I could get to a Burger King that exists in like Missouri or something. I don't know where it's actually from. There's always like a red square on top, or a red rectangle I should say. So once you've got the first layer of red taken care of, guys, you then want to add, like I said, just an additional layer of red. Star Wars. God damn it. I've came full circle. Or full rectangle, really, I suppose. I want to see it. Do you guys want to see it now? I want to see it. I didn't want to see it, but now I want to see it. No, it's not coming out for ages. It's like a month. I always hate that they tease things that are so far away. Like Deadpool the movie is coming out like next year, like probably late next year. All of the films I want to see are like a year to 2 years away. It's depressing, but that is what you want to have, guys. You want to have 2 layers of red wool directly at the top of your Burger King, like that. We're going to fill in the roof later, but we're going to take care of other parts first, because the roof is going to be very tedious, and I prefer to leave it until last. So, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So, next order of business, ladies and gentlemen, is to literally write Burger King on our building. So to do that, you want to be at the front of your Burger King, and you want to find the front left-hand corner block, which is this one right here. You want to, from this corner block, you want to count in and find the 10th block in. So you might even want to use something to count. So let's use black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You then want to move 1 upwards, and then on top of this second layer of dark blue, on top of this, you want to stack a row of 1, 2, 3. You want to stack a row of 5 red walls. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is going to be the left-hand side of our B, obviously, for Burger King. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Now, what you then want to do is take the top, bottom, and middle block, extend it each to the right by 2. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Connect each one of those second blocks together and you have your B. It's worth mentioning, guys, that each one of these letters are spaced the exact same distance apart, which is 1 block, and they are all the exact same dimensions. Like, they are 5 blocks high, 3 blocks wide. So that's the B. Now, leaving 1 block going across, we want to do a U. So we want to do 2 parallel rows of red wool, so skipping a block at the bottom, and then we want to connect them at the bottom. So we just want to have our U, like our B. These letters are kind of difficult to describe, so I'm going to kind of like build them as fast as I can and just show you them afterwards. That's our U. Moving on to the R. So the R, again, skipping a block, starting off with a vertical row of red wool. We take the top block here, we go right of it by 2, 1, 2, we go down 1, bottom left diagonal, followed by bottom right diagonal, down by 1, and that is our R, guys. Now, our G. So, our G looks a little bit weird, but again, we have limited space. So we start off with the vertical row of red wool. We take the bottom block here, we extend it right by 2, up 1. We take the top block, extend it right by 2. So there we have our Berg. That's our G. Our E, I don't even have to explain the E, do I, guys? So the E is just a vertical row of red wool. You take the top, bottom, middle blocks, extend them each to the right by 2. That's our E, Berg. Our R, we've already done an R, so a vertical row of red, top block, 2 to the right, 1 down, bottom left diagonal, bottom right diagonal, down 1. There we have our burger. Perfect. Alright guys, so that is the burger part of our Burger King. The king is now going to be 2 rows to the right of our burger, so just leaving a gap of 2, we can then start the king. So we first start off with a vertical row of 5 red, take the middle block, extend it to the right 1, do an upright diagonal and a bottom right diagonal from that middle block, go down by 1 and up by 1, and that will give you the K. Then, moving on to the I is just 1 row away, and it's just a vertical row of a red wool, like so. Then, for the N, it's just a vertical row of red, take the top block, extend it to the right by 2, then connect it all the way down, and that will give you the N. Now, moving on to the G, we've already done one of these, vertical row of red, top block to the right by 2, bottom to the right by 2, bottom block, extend up by 1, and there you have your Burger King, guys. And it should just be wrote out like that, and it's perfectly balanced. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, and pause this if necessary if you're still working on any of that, of course, we can then move on to the next bit. So the next bit, other than the roof, that I have to show you is going to be the actual Burger King sign, and we can get rid of these two black wool, can't we? Separating the burger and the king. We don't really need those together. So once you've reached this point right here, you now want to come all the way down to the bottom left-hand corner of your actual Burger King. So you're looking for this quartz block right here. From this quartz block, you want to do a row of 8 red wool coming out in front of this block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That 8th block, smash it, replace it with dark blue wool, and then we can just get rid of our red wool here. We were just using that to count it out. On top of this 8th block, with our dark blue wool, we want to have a row of 20 dark blue coming up. So that's 20. So that'll be the first block, won't it? So 19 on top of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then, coming up by 1, we want to do 1 red wool, then 1 block of quartz, then 1 red wool. We then want to extend each one of these reds to the right and left, each by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And the left-hand side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Connect each one of those 4th blocks down together. And then do quartz all the way in between, like so. Once you've done that, you then want to take this middle red wool block again, and coming up on top of it, do a row of 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we want to do a quartz block. We then want to go left of that quartz by 2, so that's 1, 2. We then want to go up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1. Then up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, and you should connect all the way back to where you first started and end up with roughly a circular shape. It's not perfect, is it? What you then want to do is this. So we then want to fill in the first 2 rows with yellow wool, and this applies to both the top and the bottom. So fill in the first 2 rows with yellow wool, top and the bottom. Then filling this first row in, coming from the bottom, coming all the way up to the top, we want to do, going from left to right, 1 red wool, 1 quartz, 1 red, 1 quartz, 1 red, 1 quartz, 1 red, like that. Then the next row we want to have 2 red, 1 quartz, whoops, that's not quartz, 1 quartz, 1 red, 1 quartz, 1 red, 1 quartz. And then for the row just above it, we just want to do again 1 red, 1 quartz, 1 red, 1 quartz, 1 red, 1 quartz, 1 red. And that is going to be our Burger King sign. And this just kind of puts the lid on it for us. Actually, we're going to be putting the lid on in a second in the form of a roof, but that's kind of like the Burger King sign. Obviously, you can't get a perfect logo in there, so I kind of just improvised it. It's close enough though, isn't it? It looks like a Burger King, or at least it looks like it to me. Once you've got that taken care of, the only thing that you might have left to do, if you're as lazy as I am, the roof. You might just want to fill the roof in. So here's what we have planned for the roof. Here's what I have planned for the roof. Gonna completely fill the roof in with red. The roof's gonna be filled in with red. As you might imagine, everywhere else is red on the roof. But what I'm then going to do, and this is painstaking, guys. Oh god, it's painstaking because it doubles the work, even doubles it 110% of the work. We then want to add dark blue carpet on top of the red roof. Why? Because it makes a very subtle difference. And again, on most buildings, as I noticed, there's a little layer of dark blue on top of the big red rectangular shape, or in this case, it might actually be a square, I'm not entirely sure. Square shape on top of the roof. There's a layer of dark blue wool. That's what we're going to be adding. Gonna take a while. Gonna take us a long while. Plenty while. As a matter of fact, it's going to take so long that I'm highly considering cutting it out of the tutorial and showing you the original version of this. You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do, but just to give you guys an idea. So, obviously, we're entirely filling the roof in with red wool. And then the plan is to do dark blue carpet on top of it. And you guys can see that we hadn't really even scratched the surface of the roof. We had plenty more to do. Probably was going to take me another 8 to 10 minutes. But, guys, That's what you want to do. Last thing, the only difference between this one and what I would like to have finished is I would like to have the roof completely filled in with red wool, then a layer of dark blue carpet on top. That's all that's missing. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to call the tutorial here, guys. The tutorial portion of this is over because I think that you guys can make the rest of it from here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to my regular Burger King, the original version of this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once you mess about with the interior, exterior ever so slightly, and I'm also going to show you what the roof looks like because it's very subtle. You could get away with just the red if you want. So I'll be back in just a moment, guys, with the original version of my Burger King. Back in a moment. So welcome to the original version of my Burger King. As you can see, it's not massively different from the outside, but it's different enough that it's actually worth showing you guys, and you might also get a couple of ideas for how you want to furnish the thing and for how you actually want to mess about with the outside of your Burger King. So before I actually show you anything else, I just want to point out the roof. So that's how the roof's supposed to look, guys. As you can see, we obviously can't see the red that we filled the top of the roof in, but you can see the dark blue carpet that I laid on top, and it is a very subtle thing. It's very subtle, but it definitely is there. If you don't feel like adding it, don't feel the need to add it, but it's definitely just a nice little extra touch that you see on top of your Burger King. Like from like the ground floor, obviously you can't tell if it's actually there or not, but as you fly over, it's just a nice little touch. So why don't we start with the inside of Burger King, and then we can move our way to the outside. So the inside of Burger King, it's laid out just about how every single other one of my fast food places is laid out. We've got some tables here all the way up at front in some of the empty space. We have a couple of varieties. Here we have like a couple of regular tables with some regular chairs. And here on the left-hand side, closer to the actual tills, we have a couple of booths with what seem to be coffee tables. Those look like coffee tables, don't they? But they're supposed to be like those booths that you sit in. I know, it looks very plain in here, guys. I didn't spend a massive amount of time on it, obviously, but hopefully it will be able to give you guys enough ideas of how you can lay it out yourself. Here we have, obviously, the customer reception area. Here's where you'd order your food. This is where the employees would be. You hand them your money, they hand you your food. That's how that usually goes. We have a little bit of a walkway in here. This would be like, this is the access to both behind the tills here, and also the drive-through window. That's where you'd hand your food out in the drive-through, and this is where the kitchen would be, and this is where like they take your order and they take your money and stuff. That's usually how that thing works. And these are obviously, they're supposed to be like cookers or something. They're really just placeholders. Obviously you could make this place a lot more detailed, you could make it a lot more better if you actually wanted to invest the time into it. Obviously I didn't. This you could use as either a storage or a staff room. Staff room might be kind of cool if you added a couple of chairs and stuff, if you were so inclined. The two other rooms, this is one of the bathrooms. This would be like men's bathroom. Obviously it's not labeled men's bathroom, and here we have a couple of toilets and we have some sinks. This would be like men's bathroom, and women's bathroom is essentially the exact same thing, just on the other side. Here it's just reversed. We have the sinks, we have the toilets. Perfect. And that's the interior, guys. There's not too much to show you, and I've kind of went over that quickly because I think it's all very quite simple. Ignore that. That was very loud, wasn't it? Maybe it wasn't even picked up on the tutorial. Ignore me, I didn't say anything. But just to show you guys how it's kind of spaced out, I mean, can you see where like the reception area, I'm blanking on what to actually call this, like where you'd order your food, the food ordering area, can you see like where this starts? It starts like right where this window ends. I mean, it's obvious anyway because we've got the drive-through windows there, and obviously that just cuts the whole back end off of the restaurant. Like, you just want to section that whole area off, and it's kind of obvious anyway. I mentioned it whilst we were doing the tutorial, where the quartz and the iron begins, like, that's the back part of the restaurant. So you guys will be able to throw that in and separate as you will. Maybe you just want one bathroom, maybe you want to make like the ordering place, maybe you want to make that bigger, maybe you want to add something else. That's completely up to you. An ice cream machine. Again, customize this how you will. This is just a very rough guide of how you might want to lay it out if you so choose, and I know it's a little bit lacking, but that's kind of the point. Let's move to the outside. So the outside's quite simple as well. So for the outside, and I was going to add something in front of this, but for the thumbnail, I didn't want anything on the actual thumbnail. Like I was going to add some benches out here, and I was going to add a couple of bins, so if you wanted to eat outside, then you'd have benches and bins outside of your Burger King. That's what this big empty space is for, and that's what you might might want to add if you're not making a tutorial on it. Here we have obviously the drive-thrus, so you'd obviously drive all the way around, you'd order your food from that menu. I know, looks like a menu, doesn't it? Then we go, I know it doesn't. Then you go all the way around the restaurant, and you're over here, obviously, you throw your money through the window, they give you your food, you speed off, you run over a couple of people, but it's okay because you wanted your Whopper. And that's kind of like the outside of it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the dimension. I actually do know the dimension. There's dimensions of this. My God, I cannot talk, can I? So, the front of the building, like, I've dug out 11 spaces out in front of the building. So, I dug out 11 rows in front of the building. The actual car, the drive-through part, is actually 5 blocks thick, and it just goes all the way around, and you can see where I've placed the board, you can see where I've placed the speaker system. It's right at the back of the Burger King, and I mean, I then just put a quartz path going all the way around it. I smoothed off the edges on the corner parts, and there's nothing really too much more to say about this, guys. I feel as though I'm trying to explain this now when really it's just kind of like a look, and you guys, you know, it's just a look, and you guys will hopefully get an idea of what to do with your restaurant. But let's take off the hood on our hand, let's take a look at this thing 360, and let's call this quits. So hopefully you guys have managed to make Burger King, hopefully you've liked it, and I hope you really have done both of those things, because I really do like my Burger King. It really, I mean, it looks exactly as it does in the Google image. I'm quite happy with how everything turned out. It's not too difficult to make either. It's actually quite easy in comparison to some of the other things that I've made recently. So if you've done both of those things, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, favorite, share this video. If you wouldn't mind, it only inspires me to make more and more things. I made Burger King because you guys suggested it. I've also made McDonald's, KFC, I've made Subway. I feel as though I'm missing one. I feel as though that I've made another one as well. I've made Taco Bell as well. How could I forget? And Burger King, you guys have been wanting this for a little while ever since I've done those, so I've decided to deliver. I've also made a Starbucks. You guys can find all of these in my house tutorials playlist, or if you want to check out the card system, I'm sure that some of those videos will pop up there. Feel free to comment down below, what do you want to see me make next? I'm thinking about either a Target or a GameStop. I'm going to do both, I just don't know which one first, and I don't know whether that will be next week or what have you, but we'll have to see, won't we? Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, favorite, share, I would really appreciate it. I worked hard on this. It's actually harder than you might think to design this thing.